Hello students, let us continue the discussion on current electricity. So this is the 41st session and we will continue. In the last session we got to know what is KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, where we have a point and few currents will be flowing towards the point, few currents can be flowing away from the point, and how to get the relation between those currents. The relation is very simple. Total current entering the node is equal to total current leaving the node. Okay, that's it. So you can apply that same rule for a node with multiple conductors connected with each other at that point. Okay, so we just took four conductors meeting at the point, but even if you have more than 4, 8, 10 and all, even then it's always the same rule, total current entering is equal to total current leaving the node. Now continuing, Kirchhoff always again gave one more law or rule which help us in solving complex electrical networks. The other law given by Kirchhoff is related to voltage. Okay. First law was related to currents and now the law is related to voltage of the network. So we name this law, okay, as Kirchhoff's second law, which is also considered as Kirchhoff's voltage law. In short, we name it as KVL. Okay. The first law given by Kirchhoff is considered as KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, and the second law is considered as KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. All of them meant the same. So now let me go for the definition first and then the explanation of that. So the definition of Kirchhoff's voltage law is as follows. In an electrical mesh, okay, in some references they also put that as in a mesh of electrical network. Okay, that is also fine, or if I write simply electrical in an electrical mesh, that's also fine. Okay, let us go with the one with the definition of the reference. In a mesh of electrical network, okay, you should remember in the first law KCL we had a node, a point, our focus was on a point of the electrical network, and now we have a mesh. Okay, we will understand what is a mesh. Let me continue the definition. In a mesh of electrical network, the algebraic sum of EMFs is equal to algebraic sum of product of current and resistors, current and resistance in the, okay, we have started with the mesh, current in the resistance, that's it. Okay, this is the definition of Kirchhoff's voltage law. In a mesh of electrical network, the algebraic sum of EMFs is equal to the algebraic sum of product of current and resistance. So writing it in mathematical way, we can put it like this: algebraic sum of EMFs E is equal to algebraic sum of algebraic sum of product of current and resistance. Okay. So this is the definition part. Now let us understand what it means with the diagram. So in the first place, we should understand what is a mesh of an electrical network. When I say mesh of an electrical network, we should have a closed path for the flow of current. Okay? Not necessarily in a particular shape like what I have written. It can be a loop, it can be in a square shape, it can be in a triangle shape, whatever the shape of the conductor, that doesn't matter. Finally, what we need is a closed path for the flow of current. And one more advantage, okay, because you might be thinking that, okay, if this is the case, we know everything regarding this kind of circuit, because there will be simply a single current, same current flowing through the entire network, if this is the situation. No, not necessarily, because this network now can have multiple electrical devices connected within the mesh and outside the mesh. Okay. So, this is a mesh where it can have connections outside the mesh and different electrical devices within the mesh. Okay. This is now a complex circuit. If I simply have this kind of circuit like this one, and I have a battery here or a cell and few resistors here, this is very easy to solve. This is a simple electrical network. We don't need KVL to solve this. But when you have an electrical network in this way with multiple connections outside and multiple devices inside, say I have two resistors here and a battery or a cell here, one more cell here, and again a resistor and a cell. Okay. So, if this is the situation, then the simple rules that we know are not valid or will not be helpful to solve this kind of electrical network, because it is complex. It involves multiple devices and multiple networks in a single network, multiple connections in a single network, and it looks complex for us. So, in this particular situation, we will need Kirchhoff's voltage law to solve. Now, let me solve this. Before we start solving it, let me take the considerations of the electrical devices connected. We have three resistors connected here. Say this resistor is of resistance R1 and this of resistance R2 and this of resistance R3. Okay. And I also have three cells connected here. Let me call this cell of EMF E1 and this of EMF E2 and this of EMF E3. Okay. So, these are the three cells and resistors in the given mesh. So, what is a mesh basically? It's a closed path of an electrical network. See, if the path starts from this point, after going through the network, it will come and end up at the same point, right? So, if I name these points as A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, A, B, C, D, E, F, A is an electrical mesh, okay, or mesh of an electrical network. Clear with the structure of mesh? Okay. Now, we shall go for the mathematical form. Now, we should connect this formula or mathematical form and obtain the expression for the particular mesh that we have considered here, okay, because we need to get the expression for the mesh that we have considered, and similarly we can get the expression for mesh that whichever we consider in future. And few consideration. One of the consideration that I left here is the current one. I should consider the current in the circuit, okay. Even though it's closed path, the current might not necessarily be same in the entire mesh, because you have other connections here, okay, and the current will be splitting in going, part of the currents will be flowing to that and part of the current will be flowing from those networks, the connected which connected outside to the mesh and all, okay. So, currents can be different. Let me assume again, this is the consideration, you have certain current flowing in this direction, say I1, and you have certain current flowing in the opposite direction, say I2, and these two currents can combine and go like this. Multiple possibilities can be there. Basically, you keep this much in mind, that it is possible that we can have different currents in different parts of the mesh, okay, like this. And here again you have a connection outside, so I can expect a current of I3 like this, and here in this part again I can expect a current I4 in this direction, and I can expect a current I5 in this direction, and I can expect a current in this direction, which is I6. See, all these currents that I have considered here are all my considerations. When it comes to actual numerical problems, themselves will give you the direction of current and the amount of current. Okay, you don't need to bother about it. It is not that this is the positive of the battery and hence I took this as the direction of the current. Yeah, that is fine as of this part is considered. But if you have a battery with more EMF, larger EMF connected here with positive terminal to this side, this current can be in the opposite direction. Okay, so you have multiple possibilities. The direction of current can vary depending on the components that you connect, and depending on the direction of the components, depending on the components present outside the mesh. Okay, these directions of currents can vary. They are not fixed, we cannot judge them, but these factors are all given to you when we go for solving problems. So don't need to worry about them. These are all the considerations. Okay, these are all considerations that we are considering, and hence now we'll apply Kirchhoff's voltage law into these considerations. Okay, and we'll see. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to consider a particular point. Say, to start with, let me start with the point A, and I should come back to the same point A going either in clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, let me choose to go this time in a clockwise direction through the electrical network. Okay, and few rules that I need to consider here before again applying the KVL is this. Now again I need to decide the sign of the currents, sign of the currents and sign of the EMFs. Okay, be clear with few rules here. If you have the traversal means the path which we have chosen to go. The path which we have chosen to go is this, right? While we go like this, first we have a resistor R2 in front of us, okay, with us, and the current direction through that resistor, okay, is same as of the path that we are following. Okay, the path is this, and direction of current through this part of the conductor is like this, right? Through the resistor is like this itself. So both are in clockwise direction of current and the direction of traversal or direction of the path that we have chosen are in the same direction or same. So when they are same, this is how we are traversing. Okay, let me take the resistor. This is how we are traversing, like this. Okay, and R is the resistance, I is the current which is in the same direction. If we have the current in the same direction through the resistor, same direction as of the traversal direction or the path which we have chosen to analyze the circuit. Okay, this is not some physical path. This is the imaginary path that we have considered to apply KVL to this particular mesh. Okay, this is imaginary. The path is imaginary. Now the direction of the path same as direction of the current, then the product of current and resistance should be positive, plus IR. Okay, and for the same scenario, if you have the current direction opposite to that of the traversal direction, See, for example, resistor, no? Okay, let me take this as the opposite direction. Now, considering this particular part of the circuit, see now in this circuit, from here to here the current should be the same, okay, because there is no splitting from here to here. The path direction, A, we go like this, we go, come back, and when we come here, okay, when we come to this particular part of the mesh, I see that the current is flowing in the opposite direction of the path that I am following. So, my path is in clockwise like this, coming like this, but the current in this part is in opposite way, right? When that is the situation, the direction of traversal is like this, direction of current is exactly opposite to that. In this particular situation, I should consider the product of current through the resistor I and the resistance of the resistor R as negative. Okay, the product should be taken as negative. This is how we should interpret the sign of the product of current and resistance. If the current direction is same as of the direction of the traversal path, then product is positive. If the current direction is opposite to the direction of the traversal path, then product of I and R is negative. Okay. So, that is about product of I and R, which is in the RHS of the equation. Now, coming to the one in the LHS of the equation, which says summation of E, which is sum of all the EMFs. Once again, these EMFs have positive and a negative sign assigned to them. See, now we have 3 batteries or 3 cells connected in the circuit, right? You can observe the direction of traversal is like this for first cell, and this is the direction for the second, and this is the direction for the third cell. Now, when it comes to assigning sign, positive or negative sign for the EMF of the cell, then you see, if this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal, while you traverse, okay, and let me take this as the direction of traverse like this, okay, direction of traverse. See, now in this part of the cell, in this particular cell, while you are traversing, you first approach the positive terminal of the cell and then you get the negative terminal of the cell. Okay. This is the negative terminal of the cell, the smaller line, and this is the positive terminal of the cell, the bigger one. So, while you approach, you get the positive terminal of the cell first and then you get the negative terminal of the cell. So, when this is the situation, then the EMF should be considered as negative. Okay. So, the EMF of this cell should be considered as negative and put into the equation. And the exactly the opposite way, if you have the direction of traversal like this, and this time you first approach the negative terminal of the cell and then approach the positive terminal of the cell. Okay, this is the direction of the traversal, and while you traverse, you first approach the negative terminal of the cell, then you approach the positive terminal of the cell. In this particular situation, you should consider the EMF to be positive. Okay, these are the rules which has to be followed, which has to be kept in mind before you start analyzing a mesh electrical network using KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law. Clear with this? Current through the resistance in the same direction of traversal. This traversal is the direction of path which we have chosen, right? And this can be both clockwise and anti-clockwise. That doesn't matter. Okay, be clear with that. So, what if it is anti-clockwise? Everything reverses. Positives become negative, negative becomes positive. But the basic rule is this: if the direction of traversal and the current direction are same, plus IR. Direction of traversal and the current direction are opposite, then minus IR. Direction of current and the EMF are same, or I can say not the direction of EMF. If I first approach positive terminal of the cell, then it is minus E. If I first approach negative terminal of the cell, it is plus E. Okay. So, these are the rules which has to be kept in mind. Now, let me analyze this circuit using these rules what we have. Okay. So, first the LHS of the equation says algebraic sum of EMFs should be kept. Okay, I will start from A. Okay, I will start analyzing the network from A. From A, first I approach or I see a resistor. I do not see any source of EMF. Source of EMF is a cell here. Okay, so I do not see a cell, I neglect. Then I move forward, I see one more cell. I see the first cell actually. Okay, I see a resistor here, no cell, I neglect, I move forward because I am searching for EMFs, or particularly I am searching for cells here, because cells are the sources of EMF. Okay, so resistors are not the sources of EMF. Okay, so I see a resistor, I neglect because this belongs to RHS of the equation, and now I am bothered about LHS of the equation, right. So, the first in the part of AB, no resistor, no EMF. In the part of BC, here I first approach the first cell, I see the first cell here, and in this first cell I first see the positive terminal. So, I have EMF E1, but the direction of traversal is like this. Okay, like this, and I see the positive terminal of the cell first. So, I should consider that EMF as minus E1, because that is the rule. If I see positive terminal of the cell first, then I should take negative sign for that EMF. Clear? Good. Next, I will move forward. I do not need to bother about these currents, they does not matter to me. Okay. There will be current through this part of the mesh, but I do not need to bother about it because I do not have any resistor here. If I have any resistor in this part, I should have worried about the current and put the product of current and resistance, that too into the RHS part of the equation. Okay. But now I am only bothered about the EMFs. Then I will move ahead and I see one more cell here. And this time I see the negative part of the cell first. Negative terminal of the cell appears first when I am in the path, when I am in the path of the traversal like this. So, I see the negative. So, E2 is the EMF. What sign should I assign? Positive sign. So, minus C1 plus E2. Okay? And I move forward in the mesh. There I see a resistor. Resistor is not important for me now because I am worried about LHS part, and I move forward. Then I see one more cell, and this cell has the EMF E3, and I see the positive terminal of the cell first, isn't it? I see the positive terminal of the cell first. So, I see the positive terminal in the path of the traversal, the E3, EMF E3 should be kept as negative. So, it is minus E3, and I move ahead. Okay, I keep on moving, and I see one more resistor, and the traversal or the movement or the path ends again, right? A to B to C to D to E to F to A again. So, the path is complete. We have covered all the EMFs in the path, all the cells in the path are clear, EMFs are noted. So, LHS of the equation is done. Clear? Now, let me go for the RHS of the equation, which means product of current and resistors should be taken. Now, I should search, I should go again in the same path, and this time I will be searching only for the resistors, not for the cells. Okay. So, now from this point I start searching. First I find a resistor here, right, and this resistor is of resistance R2, and there is a current flowing through this resistor. these directions of currents are all given to you. Okay, they are all given factors, don't need to worry when you solve problems. And this is the direction of traversal, A to B. I am going like this, and the current is also in the same direction, right? So what does the rule says? Direction of traversal and direction of current are same through the resistor. You should take plus IR. So current is I1 and the resistance is R2, and hence the first part of the equation for the part AB of the mesh, I have I1 R2. Okay, from here to here it is I1 R2 positive again. Okay, so it is plus I1 R2. I will move ahead. What I see is a cell. I don't bother about cell this time because I have considered in the LHS part. I move ahead. B to C is OR. C to D I see. Is there any resistor here and here? No resistor. It's simply a cell. So I neglect and move ahead. And then from D to E, when I go from D to E, I see a resistor here with resistance R3 and current I4 through that. Now the direction of traversal is D to E itself because I am coming like this, and the current through the resistor is also in the same direction. I4 is flowing through the resistor in this direction. So direction of current and the direction of traversal are the same, right? Similar to I1 R2. Here we have directions the same. So again I need to consider positive itself. So which means now that becomes plus I4 R3. And moving ahead, then I see a cell has EMF, but that we have kept in the other part of the equation. No need to bother about it. I will move ahead. When I move ahead, I again see a resistor here. So this time this resistor has current flowing through that, which is equal to I6, right? This resistance R1 has a current flowing through this I6, which is equal to I6. But the direction of the current, you observe that I am going from F to A now to complete the path, right? But what I see is, I see a current in the opposite direction of my traversal like this, right? When it is in the opposite direction like this, look at this. I am going like this, the path is like this, but the current is coming exactly opposite to me. So I have to consider the negative, the product as negative, and I should keep minus I6 R1. Okay. So that's it. This is about Kirchhoff's voltage laws mathematical form. Okay. All the EMFs of the mesh covered, yes, covered. All the product of currents and resistors of the cell covered, yes, covered. The rules to be followed, these are the rules. Same direction of current with the same with the direction of path, then plus IR. If it is opposite direction of current with the direction of path in the opposite one, like this, minus IR. And if when it comes to EMF, if I see positive terminal of the battery first, then it is minus E. If I see negative terminal of the battery first, then it is plus E. Okay. Using these rules, we can write the mathematical form of Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay. Now let us see into the basic principles for these Kirchhoff's laws. We have two laws of Kirchhoff. One is KCL and KVL, right? Current law and voltage law. When it comes to current law, the basic principle with which this Kirchhoff's current law works is the conservation of charge. Okay. Principle of KCL, conservation of charge, because See, when it's all about total current entering is equal to total current leaving, isn't it? So what is total current entering? It is the total charge entering per unit time and total charge leaving the node per unit time. Anyhow, there is no leakage of charge, there won't be no charges going, there is no chance of charges going outside the conductor. You can imagine water pipes connected like this, okay, multiple water pipes connected like this, okay. So these water pipes can have, few of them can have water flowing towards the node and few of them can have water flowing away from the node, that depends, okay. But the total water that enters the node is equal to total current that leaves the node. The amount of water, the quantity of water is conserved here, right, because there is no leakage of water. So the same law is applied here, and the principle is principle of Kirchhoff's current law is conservation of charge, and the principle of KVL, Kirchhoff's voltage law, is conservation of energy, okay. So as we discussed, in a mesh what happens is EMFs provides the energy, or the cells in the mesh provides the energy, gives the energy for the current flow in the mesh. At the same time, resistors in the mesh, okay, they absorb the energy, or they take the energy by the flow of current. In what form? You all know that whenever there is resistance, the resistors heat up. So these resistors are consuming the energy and the cells are providing the energy, right. So that is how it works. There are energy providers, there are energy consumers, and total energy provided to the mesh is equal to total energy consumed by the mesh, okay, which is conservation of energy, and that is the basic principle on which Kirchhoff's voltage law depends. So that is the principle of that. So these are the principles.